Oh golly, it's looking like it's gonna downpour at any second here. I don't know if you guys can see that vibe. Allison put the laundry up. She forgot to take it in. Better gather it before the sky opens up here. All right, now let me get under cover before the sky opens up here. So yeah, that really wasn't what I wanted to talk to you guys about in today's video. What I wanted to talk to you about is I continue to have problems with Molly Barn Cat. So as you guys saw in the last video, we had this issue with Molly where she escaped the room where I have her and Ginny Barn Cat getting trained up to be barn cats here on our farm. And that first escape, I know what went wrong. I was clumsy with the door and she used a crack in the door and the chaos from Pablo Barn Cat, our other barn cat here on the farm, as a means of escaping. But today, I've got a little bit more of a mystery on my hands that I need to solve. So the quick 60-second background for those of you guys who are not familiar with what's going on here on the farm. We have a poultry farm here in northern Vermont. We've had a rodent problem. We had one barn cat and he's been doing a good job, but he needs some extra help. So we just got 2 new barn cats on the farm, a mother and a kitten. And when you're training up barn cats, it's important to actually, for the first few weeks, train them to the barn that they're gonna live in. That'll keep them from wandering off in the future and help them understand where home is. So for the past week and a half, Molly Barn Cat and her daughter Ginny Barn Cat have been living on the 2nd floor of our gigantic barn. They've been in a pretty good sized room. The other day, Molly Barn Cat and Pablo Barn Cat started to fight, and during the chaos of the fight, she escaped. But over the course of today, I've discovered a new problem. All right, let's go check on the barn cats again. These are some creepy stairs. So you see Molly and Ginny have been staying in that room right there. But what's been happening is on 3 different occasions today, I've been out walking around the farm and suddenly I'll see Molly Barn Cat just wandering around. And the first time she did it, I thought I was just being stupid and it was all my fault. Like she snuck up behind me as I was closing the door after my morning check-in with them. But then the second time that she did it, I knew that somehow she was escaping the barn room. You know, when I first put them in there, I actually went through extra effort to make sure that there was like no open cracks or crevices or holes. And I tried to be just about as careful as I possibly could be to make sure she didn't slip out. But she got out. And so that leads me to believe that she's like a Houdini of some sort. And so I need to solve this problem. And so in order to solve this problem, I used the power of video to do it. And I mounted a camera inside the room. Now, because I only had one camera that could do long time lapses, I was only able to get a certain angle of the room. And as I watched it for a while, number one, it was adorable to watch Molly and Ginny just hang out and be together. You know, it's funny, I spend probably more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half even every day inside that room. It's usually where I go and sit to answer YouTube comments and edit my TikTok videos. And while I'm in there, I'm spending time with the barn cats and getting to know them. And what I've noticed is Ginny Barn Cat is super playful. She is constantly trying to play with me and jump around on me, and it's so gosh darn adorable. Molly's personality is a little bit different. She is like a cuddle bug. She's always rubbing up against me, looking to be pet, and it's so darn adorable. But when I watch them unsupervised, it's cool to see the two of them interact. And you can clearly see that Ginny looks to Molly as her mom, and it warms my heart and makes me so happy that I'm able to keep them here together on the farm. And really, for many, many years to come, I hope for them to be a mother-daughter duo working here on our farm. Whew. It is like 88 degrees as I'm recording this video right now. Whew. I'll put whatever that is in Celsius down below. It's a hot one today. So I developed a couple of different theories as to how she was actually getting out. And probably the best one I had was I found a loose floorboard on the ceiling of that room. You see, we're in a 3-story barn, and so the floorboard was going from the 2nd story up to the floor of the 3rd story. And so I went up to the 3rd floor and re-nailed that board down and put a weight on it so that she couldn't like push it back up. And so that part was sealed. And so I watched carefully on the videotape, and what I noticed was she disappeared after a little while, and Ginny was left unattended for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. And actually, when I came back up here to check on things, I could hear Ginny crying very pathetically, and there was Molly wandering around right by the door. You know, the good thing about having a mother-daughter pair like this is because Ginny is unable to escape, Molly's not gonna go far and just leave her. And so she came back to the barn room where they're supposed to stay pretty quickly, which is good, because I would be so disappointed in myself if I actually lost this barn cat after like 10 days. But because the first camera angle was pointing the wrong way, I knew I was gonna have to give this a second shot. And so a couple of hours ago, I went in and I tilted the camera in another direction of the room so I could get basically the other angle that I wasn't able to get with the first camera shot. And as I watched very carefully, and what I saw is little Molly going to one of the spots where it actually put chicken wire to cover up a hole, and she somehow has holed some of it up and she's able to slip right through. And so that's the spot where she was sneaking out from. I just came from actually inside the house where I was checking the SD card from the camera, and that's how I learned all of this stuff. And so now I'm heading back into the cat room to see if I can fix things. Oh, hey, by the way, actually, while we're up here in the barn, I wanted to show you guys something. You see this? It says LCM, I think that says February 27th, 1936. Then it says LCM June 13th. I think that says 1940. So there was a guy who actually worked on our farm back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even into the 60s, I believe. And his name was Lote Munger. I think Lote was short for something, but everybody around here called him Lote, and even the old timers who still remember him call him Lote. And so I'm pretty sure that LCM stands for Lote, whatever Lote's middle name was, Munger. I don't know, he wrote this graffiti. I'm not sure if that's when this thing was built or some other project he was working on here, but it's always kind of cool to see the ancient graffiti in this barn. I mean, this barn is, I don't know, almost 130 years old, I have to guess. And it's got lots of interesting history and relics like that scattered around it. Hey, kitties. Oop. Hey, both of you are in here now. That's good. Ginny, come on. Stop trying to sneak out. In you go, Ginny girl. In you go, Mouse. Come on. Let me get in. Let me get in. Come on. Back. How are my girls? How are you? Molly, you deserve a strict talking to. I've been seeing how you've been escaping this little room, and I don't appreciate it. How's it going there, Gin? But I gotta say, they remain the sweetest possible barn cats. By the way, I don't mean to say that they're better than Pablo Barn Cat or Little Barn Cat. They're just, you know, very sweet barn cats. Oh, Molly, you're so sweet. What are you doing, Ginny? Huh? You wanna play? Let's try to fix this. Now, I originally thought I'd try to fix this with a staple gun, but I think the best option is actually just to patch up over this hole. Let me just bind this just a little bit tighter. Do a couple of extra staples over here. Ensure she does not get any fancy ideas. What are you thinking, Molly? Did I blow up your spot?
You're ruining my life!
Sorry, girl. I know I named Molly after a Harry Potter character, but she's acting way more like Harry Houdini. Isn't that right, Molly Mall? Jin Jin, you are such a little feisty feister. Rah. Yeah, Ginny definitely has Ginny Weasley's personality. And that's Ginny Weasley from the books, not the movies. Okay, Molly, I'm gonna let you be. Please don't try to sneak out again, okay?